CEDAR is a 501c3 formed in 1993 for the purpose of creating, developing, and delivering non-traditional education programming in support of K-12 instruction. The acronym for CEDAR from 1993 until last spring was Co-Education, Development, and Resource. And for 27 years, Co, the resource, and Co, the industry, was the focus of our programming. During those 27 years, there were 4,200 teachers and 272,000 students who were impacted by our programs. And CEDAR invested $4.5 million during that 27-year period. During the spring of last year, we lost virtually all of our co-industry related funding due to the continued downturn in the industry. So our board of directors voted to pivot to the future of work in Appalachia, with our new focus being on the 7 pillars of the SOAR blueprint. And this was made possible through a recently signed agreement partnership with SOAR, Kobe Hall, to make this pivot to the economic realm, specifically the 7 pillars of the SOAR blueprint. So now the acronym for CEDAR is the acronym for Community, Economic Development, and Revitalization. So we were able to keep CEDAR. We're in our 29th year now. This is our 2nd year in the Future of Work program. So Traci is going to take you through our programs, what they entail. She's a retired classroom teacher, but she is still involved in various non-traditional educational initiatives in her area, and she helped develop the programs for our new pivot. We're using the same delivery mechanism that we did for 27 years. We've just changed the topic from Co to the Future of Work. Traci.
I'm happy to say that when I was in the classroom, I was a CEDAR teacher. I actually participated in the 2 programs that I'm going to talk about first, and they created authentic learning opportunities for my students. And so that's why I felt like CEDAR provided opportunities that I wasn't able to provide just as a regular classroom teacher using Kentucky academic standards. So all of the programs that CEDAR implements are based on Kentucky standards, but we now encourage teachers and students to look at what's being focused on through SOAR and those of you working in economic development. It's not just teachers teaching what they think students need to know, but they're actually allowing students to work on these authentic lessons that hit on these 7 pillars. And so through each of these programs, teachers are making an effort to do that. And so the first program that I personally participated in with CEDAR years ago was the Teacher Study Unit program. Teachers are given an opportunity to write a unit of study. It could be 1 week, it could be 6 months. It totally depends on the teacher and what they teach, their content area. They look at their standards and they see, where could I plug in those 7 pillars, or at least one of them, into my curriculum? And they write this unit, they ask for funding that they receive to then take students, as you can see in the bottom left or the bottom right picture, students walking through their community. They're in Paintsville as part of a study unit. But the students really are taught about economic development. So in kindergarten, that might look like just learning what is the difference between goods and services. What is an entrepreneur? What is that big mayonnaise word, as a kindergarten teacher might say? And breaking that down so that students at a very early age are getting those foundational skills that they need to know. The second program that CEDAR has developed is the Student Fair program. This is where students in grades K through 12 can create a project that is based on 7 content categories being art, music, science, social studies, math, language arts, and technology. I think there's one more, but social studies. They create these projects sometimes at home with their parents, learning about the careers their parents are involved in, and sometimes those projects are an extension of the teacher study unit that they did there in the classroom. This is a competition, and we have judges from outside the region that judge these projects, and students do win cash prizes, the same as the teacher study unit. That is also a competition. eClerp is our newest program. It is for students in grades 9 through 12. eClerp stands for Entrepreneurial Coal Lands Redevelopment Program, and we're very proud of this program because it is a pitch competition, but it is also a 6-month endeavor for a team of up to 5 students to work with a coach. Students identify a former mine site. This could be a surface mine, a deep mine, or even a coal processing plant. They imagine a business idea and work as a team to see how that land can benefit their business and how their business therefore can benefit the community by giving back. The students do a site profile where they learn the history of that site and the benefits that it provided the community through the years. They evaluate the land, what in this site can benefit our business, and how can our business benefit the community. So they do that site profile, that's one part of the competition. Then they do a business plan. They go through workshops to learn about these different aspects of the program. And after they do their business plan, then they create an actual model or a prototype that will be used in their pitch. And here in the middle, you can see a couple of the different models that students have created. I thought the one last year where the model was the shape of their county so that they could actually show an ambulance service, that the students were pitching for an ambulance service because they didn't have one in their remote part of Pike County. And they use lights to actually show how remote they are from where the ambulance services are located. And then the pitch competition, where students actually use the model to help show their business idea. We are so excited that actually, students are working with community professionals in these projects. They aren't just working with their teachers and their coaches, but they're talking to their mayors and their judge executives and people in workforce to learn more about these different aspects of business. And then finally, I went too far. CEDAR is, although Remake Learning Days is not a CEDAR created program, we are going to be the hosting organization this year. And we're real excited because Eastern Kentucky is one of 17 regions across the United States. Some of those include San Diego, California, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Eastern Kentucky is one of these regions where family events are being hosted so that parents can learn about different career opportunities. Schools, businesses, and community organizations open their doors and host events that allow families to learn together. So we have had over 50 events the 2 years that we were able to host in 2019 and then again in 2021. Some of the events are in person, some are virtual, some were even a hybrid where kids picked up kits at public libraries and then they were able to join in with a video. But these events are happening at soil conservation districts, quilt shops, schools, libraries, extension offices, parks, anywhere that people are willing to open their doors and let families come in. And I think that's so important because, I grew up and became a teacher. My family were teachers for 2 or 3 generations, and that's what I saw. And I think when families are able to come in and see things that they don't see every day, students are able to become hands-on, like the events at BitSource and App Harvest and the local coffee shop in Prestonsburg. You can see there those different venues really create strong community ties between families.